Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of Valpo Football Weekly, brought to you by our friends at Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute. It's the first edition of the 2023 season. I'm Brandon Vickery, glad to be joined by the head coach of the Valpo football program, Landon Fox. And Coach, fall camp in the books, and now you've moved on to week one game prep. But let's look back at the fall camp. Just maybe in general, what stood out to you about your football team during the camp? How would you assess the way things went?
Yeah, I was very happy with the progress in terms of I thought we took advantage of our time. That's a big mantra in our program is, invest your time and don't spend it. And I thought we did that on a day-to-day basis and just, obviously be where your feet are, take it one day at a time. But you saw the progress from day one to where we're at now. And so that's what it's about. And, you build your team during that fall camp time. And now we head into game week.
Wanted to mention the preseason honors from the conference office, Solomon Davis and Evan Jernigan on the preseason All-PFL team. And also you had Evan Mathis on the FCS Hunter of the Year preseason watch list, and 6 players honored by Phil Steele in the preseason All-PFL. What's it like to see some of those guys get that preseason recognition?
It's exciting for them, in terms of the personal recognition. But the reality is, we talk about just being the best version of themselves they can be to help our football team. But when you do talk about guys like Solomon Davis, who's a fifth-year senior, who had a very interesting story in terms of his journey, didn't play for a number of years and then, has a breakout season last year. And then Evan Annis, a guy that tore his ACL as a senior and comes back for a fifth-year senior season. So, to me, the stories behind the recognition is really what is the neat part of it. But very well deserving for all of our guys on our team. So.
If it's a preseason conversation, I'm going to ask about the quarterback position. And this year, different from maybe the last couple of years where there was probably more wide open competition. This year, returning starter and Michael Apple Jr. How has he progressed? What do you expect from him going into week one?
Yeah, Brandon, I think this is the first time since, we've been here as a staff and you and I have spoken where, maybe we really didn't know who that, that quarterback was. But Mikey Apples established himself as our quarterback. Had a really good fall camp. He has good size, prototypical size at the quarterback position, throws it well. Very intelligent engineering student, and then carries that over to the football field as well. And so he understands the offense, where the ball is supposed to go. So thought Mikey had a really good year last year and expect big things from him this season.
One more position on offense I want to ask about, and that's the running back spot. You've had 2 all-time greats at Valpo over the last 3 years, and Robert Washington and Aaron Dawson. Where do you turn at running back this season?
I'd say running back by committee. We have a number of those guys back there that can do a lot of different things with the football. So you'll see those guys in a lot of different ways in terms of running back, receiver, and but we have to utilize their talent. There's 5-6 guys back there and that can do some really good things with the ball in their hands. So we got to make sure we're utilizing their skill set and allow us to have success offensively.
Let's talk defense. A good number of returners on that defense. Just what stands out to you when you think about your defensive group?
Yeah, I'm excited in terms of the potential they have on that side of the ball. Now the reality is, we were down a little bit last year, and I think the guys need to have a little edge about that in terms of we need to play really sound defense and be in the right spots. But from a talent perspective, yeah, we return quite a few guys, and we've added a couple pieces as well. So we're excited in terms of what we think we can do on that side of football.
Let's talk week one opponent. You face a Youngstown State team that's receiving votes nationally in every poll. They're ranked as high as 23rd nationally in the preseason polls. What are their strengths? What type of challenge do they present on Thursday night?
Yeah, they're a good football team. Missouri Valley football team that went 7-4 last year, like you said. Defensively, they're sound. They're not going to do anything, that's too crazy. I mean, they're going to be in the right spots and they play hard. They're physical and they're fast. And so I was very impressed with their defense. Offensively, from an offense perspective, they're loaded at wide receiver. They have a bunch of their guys back from last year, and then 4 or 5 returning offensive linemen. So the piece that they're trying to replace is their running back. He has ended up playing for the Denver Broncos right now. But that being said, they had another running back that split time with them that just to me is just as good a player. And so I think that the expectations for their team is high. And so, we'll have our hands full in terms of making sure that, it's about us and we're doing the right things and not letting them dictate the game.
There he is, the head coach of the Valpo football program, Landon Fox. The game kicks off at 6:30 Central Time here in Valpo, 7:30 Eastern out in Ohio on Thursday night. And you can watch the game on ESPN+. We'll talk to you again next week on Valpo Football Weekly. It's brought to you by our friends at Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute.